Where did you end up finding this original building?
It was on one of the auction sites online.
Have you heard of them before?
Had never seen anything like it till I saw it advertised. And the story was they were released out of military surplus.
Vietnam War era, isn't it?
Yeah, they were built by Lysart Australia, who I always remember seeing corrugated iron when I was a kid that had the Lysart logo stamped on it. And they were an engineering firm, and they were commissioned by Defence Forces to come up with these buildings. And the building actually it's in kit form. It came in 6 big hardwood boxes. One over there that we've used for the wicking bed there in the garden. 6 big crates contained the whole building, and they were designed that they could be assembled by, unskilled military personnel. No offence to military personnel, but they didn't have to be put together by the engineering corps or anything.
Some rowdy privates.
Yeah, what they call them, grunters. And it came with it came with the instructions and the actual toolkit, which was just a few basic tools to put it all together. And they were actually designed so that they could be disassembled and moved and then reassembled somewhere else. But it's a great building, and hard to find any steel building now that's still built to the same specifications as that. Those steel uprights and that portal design, clear span portal design, and it it's built out of 3mm steel, all galvanised.
And it's all bolted together too, isn't it?
It's all bolted together, and came with all the bolts with spares. Everything came with like 5% extra. Even the glass louvers.
Yeah, the louvers are a good feature. It really sets it apart from other buildings.
Yeah, and when you think about it, it was designed for the tropics, Vietnam, as you say, and which makes it pretty perfect for where we are here. So I just came up with this system. Really allows us to just harvest rainwater off the roof into the bottom tank, which is 10,000 litres. And then inside the bottom tank we fitted a submersible pump. We can plug a generator in and pump water up to the top tank, which is about 3,000 litres, and that just allows us to just use gravity then to supply water to the interior of the shed. And we also take a feed out of that into the solar hot water system, and that's
it's a vacuum tube system, isn't it?
Yeah, and 200 litres already this year. It's only mid-spring, and by 2 o'clock in the afternoon that 200 litres of water can be boiling, and which is pretty amazing. And then it's all just a gravity feed down into the inside and to the yard and whatever. And it's served us pretty well so far.
Yeah, it gets really hot, and it stays hot in the winter too. If you don't get any sun or anything for a week or so, it stays quite warm.
Yeah, and we also installed a heating element in it, so if we do get 2 weeks of wet weather or whatever, we can plug a generator in it and have hot water within half an hour. So that's all worked pretty well, I think.
So I've just installed this pretty simple, small solar system.
Yeah, we had no idea what we were doing.
It looks pretty neat though.
We got the gear off the internet. I'm always a bit confused about it, but we've got 2 panels running through 2 separate regulators.
It's essentially just like the same sort of kit you'd get if you were going camping, but we've sort of bolted it in this nice box.
Yeah.
It's only sort of very unsophisticated at the moment, but we do have plans to upgrade to something.
Yeah. Got the cheap inverter, like all cheap inverters. I think it makes about 25% of
what it says it does.
What it's specified at.
It says like 4,000 watts or something, and it does about 300.
Yeah.
But you get what you pay for when it comes to that stuff. It works well though.
And then we did a couple of the bigger 6-volt batteries, just a pair of. So it's only a 12-volt system for people that are interested in those sort of things.
Yeah, I think they're the 6-volt Sentries. They're the equivalent of those Titan T105s, Trojan T105s rather.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's about 500 or so amp hours.
Yep.
Which is enough to run lighting and stuff like that, and the old laptop and mobile phone and internet stuff. So that's working well.
We can't have too many big screen home theatre setups going at once.
And why would you want to?
We set this up so that we can power it with the inverter, and this is a male plug here, and that goes into the inside circuit breaker box, which is a standard 240 volt box with circuit breakers for light circuits and power circuits, a sub-boarder as they call it. And so depending on how we want to use it, when our batteries are flat or whatever, we can actually plug a generator straight in there and power the whole shed.
And power a battery charger at the same time.
And power battery charger at the same time.
It's good to go in a few hours. It's cool. G'day viewers, good to see you again. It's been a while. I thought I'd make a bit of a video update for all the curious folk that keep sending me messages on Instagram. It's been about 12 months since the last video, hasn't it? It's been a while. And I left you, I was building that timber roundhouse down in the valley, in the woods. Long story short, I haven't been able to really make any videos for about 12 months now because of all the stuff that's been happening that's been outside of our control. The first major event was the devastating bushfires that came through at the end of last year, which just put a hold on absolutely everything. We had huge fires in the area. It was entirely, it was devastating for the whole community. Lots of people lost their properties. I ended up evacuating because of all the smoke and ash and the flames coming up over the ridge. Had to leave the place and not know whether anything was going to be here when we got back. But yeah, luckily our property wasn't damaged, and yeah, everything was all right in the end, which was a better outcome than a lot of people in the area. But it meant that it was pretty much a ridiculous idea to stay down there for the rest of the summer, because the fires were just going to keep coming. It was catastrophic conditions. So after a few months I ended up moving into the barracks shed, and yeah, I just made that little video cut there to show it off a bit, because it's a cool building. It's a bit unique. I think people are sort of interested in it. The old man and I built it a few summers ago now. I think it was around 2014, 2015, and he was living in it for a while, but he's since moved on to another place. He hasn't died or anything. I don't know where he is. I think he's living down in a cave behind a waterfall or something. He's pretty mysterious, but he still hangs around here and comes to help work on machinery and build stuff. But yeah, and yeah, so we sort of went straight from the bushfires into the global pandemic, and that had a big impact on my workplace. So I sort of didn't have a lot of time for extracurricular activities, YouTube videos and whatnot. But yeah, it's slowed down over the last couple of months, and I'm looking forward to getting back into it. I've moved into the barracks, and I've sort of built a bit of a studio and everything, so I've can get back into making stuff and interacting with people online about what we're all doing. There's a lot of other people that I follow that are living off the grid and doing interesting, unique things, building different houses and working on their properties and stuff, so it's good to interact with those guys again. So yeah, the other thing that happened is our good old bulldozer Enzo had a major catastrophic breakdown a couple of months ago. Blew up a main bull pinion, the main drive gear on one side, and had to completely strip all of that down, which was a huge job. But the old man was amazing at it, got it all going again after a few weeks. And yeah, so we need that going to fix up the roads and do more fire protection over the next few weeks. That's sort of our main goal for now, because there's no point doing other projects if we just have to run away every time there's a fire within a few kilometres of here. We need to, I'm going to build up a better rain harvesting capacity, lots more rainwater tanks and irrigation lines throughout the property, which would be good, because I'm planning on building some orchards and doing some landscaping and stuff too, to make the area look nice. So that'll sort of get two things done at once. So now that the bulldozer's going again, we can work on that. And then where I was building the cabin is pretty overgrown and stuff again, so I'll have to clear that out and get back in, get the sawmill going again, and yeah, start building again. And I'll be doing projects up here as well. The old man and I will be building some more timber shelters and stuff, and carports and things like that, because he wants to work on machinery and stuff up here when he comes to visit. But yeah, so that was the major update for now. There'll be more to come in the future. I'm just going to hang out and cook some dinner or something. Got some lamb going on the wood-fired stove, and yeah, and do some work on some videos. So yeah, I'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.